Hello you wonderful people, welcome back to JTX and yet another video about stream teams and the behaviour that continues within them. Now before we go on to our main subject today, who was actually the feature of last week's video, yes that's right, it gets even worse, I feel like I need to clear a few things up with regards to this new direction in content and the content that I continue to produce. I hope you enjoy. This new direction in content started just before the turn of the new year. My attention had been brought to the Hover app by several tweets I had seen on Twitter, and I was intrigued by the lack of professionalism in the replies from staff, as well as having many questions about the app itself. So, on December 29th, I released a short video giving my thoughts on the platform and how it stood to serve the people only at the top of it. Now, I had made a fair amount of gaming videos on YouTube with limited success. I'm primarily a Mario Maker streamer, and there are huge creators already on the platform with very well established channels, so it was always going to be a bit difficult to make a success of that kind of video. I was never consistent with uploading, but making the content did enable me to learn at least how to edit videos. After the release of my Hover video, I noticed that it continued to gain views way past the number my videos usually would, but I had not planned to make another video either like this one or about Hover. Over the course of January, I watched Hover grow significantly and started to ask questions to users of the app. I was met with incredible overzealous defense, and in trying to discuss the problems with the app, the people defending it would usually stoop to personal insults over giving good reasons as to why the app was viable. It was pretty obvious that they didn't take me seriously, and over this time I had been contacted by a few people who had been part of the app or seen the issues with the app and themselves questioned it and how useful it was to its patrons. These people knew about the app long before myself and helped fill me in with a lot of the things that had happened historically, and what was happening on the app didn't seem right to me. Despite the video being much more successful than my previous, with the exception of a couple of random ones from a few years ago, I didn't make another one for almost a month. With my newfound knowledge and understanding, I feel like I produced a much better video and explanation as to why the app was flawed. The video gained more attention and my name was becoming familiar to the Hover cohort. What I found incredible was the lack of argument for the app. They would just say that I was looking for clout or that I didn't know what I was talking about. They would also claim bullying and harassment. It's worth mentioning that at this time, there was only myself and a few others questioning and calling them out. That's a few of us against thousands of users on Hover. If I had wanted clout, I would have joined Hover. The position I could have gained in the app from being a small partner would have gained me plenty of clout, but I'd never do that. My morals mean far more to me than any number. And you might think, yeah, well, that's easy for you to say that, but there's plenty of evidence of me doing this the whole time I've been streaming. I had been invited to join a community a couple of years ago that was associated with the main game that I stream on Twitch, Super Mario Maker 2. This group was called the Super Mario Maker 2 Society. At the time, I would have been one of the bigger creators in the group, and it would have definitely helped me gain more numbers, and it certainly helped the owner and a few others at the top of the group with regards to numbers. This group was by no stretch of the imagination run like the teams that I have discussed recently, and I liked a lot of the people within the group then and now, but it certainly served the people at the top far more than it did the smaller creators. I was honest and open with what I thought about the society, and this led some members of the group looking towards me with disdain. Me being me, I didn't care. I got what I needed and achieved Twitch partnership without having to associate with anybody that I didn't like. There were a lot of people in the community looking to piggyback off other streams, and they would be seen in every single Mario Maker stream available, saying hello and then leaving 2 minutes later. I saw this behavior the minute I started streaming and never once wanted to be associated with it. Again, from a moral standpoint, I would never put numbers or clout first. This is something you will find all over Twitch. It's not just support for support groups, but people looking for boost by hanging out with the right people. So I hadn't dealt with any networking teams per se, but I had watched this group evolve and saw what happened within it. With this group, I just saw that it was a few people doing it for their own personal gain, and they didn't really ask that much of most people, so it didn't seem like that big a deal to me. On Twitch, it seems, being honest is a difficult thing for many creators trying to make it. I accept people not wanting to get in any kind of drama, and some people don't have the capacity to debate for many different reasons, and I don't blame them at all. There are also creators, however, that simply do whatever they can for any kind of small boost in numbers or engagement. We've all seen the recycled streamer tweets on Twitter with the most obvious sentiments that everybody already knows about. Unfortunately, people either staying quiet or feigning ignorance makes up for the majority of Twitch streamers. And so when you call out certain factions, you have to accept for the most part, you will mainly be on your own. And when I started making these videos, that was very much the case for me and a few others. I believe that the people that say I do everything for my own personal game is a reflection on their lack of ability to put work into anything that doesn't necessarily offer something in return. It's worth pointing out that I have had help from many people making these videos, and a lot of them have chosen to remain anonymous. They gain zero clout from it, but they do it because they believe what we're all doing in calling out these behaviors and showing others their traits is the right thing to do. It's through meeting many of these people that I do have some faith restored in the platform of Twitch as it stands today. To be completely honest, it really doesn't bother me what those people think. But it's worth noting that I am putting an increasing amount of time and effort into my videos, and although it looks like monetization will come soon, I haven't made a penny from making these videos, and I didn't think I ever would. The bottom line is, I make these videos because I believe it's the right thing to do, and I can't stand people taking advantage of others. To simply stand by and watch them getting away with it is not in my blood. I know that some people find the calling out of individuals harsh sometimes. I understand that people agree with a lot of the things I say, but don't like the way I make my points directly to people. It's understandable, but to those people, I will say this. Sometimes you have to stamp your feet a bit to be heard, and sometimes people won't believe what you say until you give them clear examples of what is happening. I've already talked about the engagement farming tweets calling out behaviors but not individuals. I will see these tweets get hundreds and sometimes even thousands of likes, but people still carry on as normal. Usually still condoning the behavior of friends doing exactly what the tweet said, despite showing their support against those behaviors. Calling out groups and individuals makes things so much more clear and has much more impact. It may look like sometimes those tweets don't have as much engagement because people don't want to show that they dislike anyone, usually because they'll worry it'll affect their numbers somehow. But some of the clips that I have put out had huge engagement despite not having tons of likes. The bottom line is, I've had nearing hundreds of DMs informing me that they were part of hover/stream teams, and they either agree with what I said, or it gave them a new perspective and they have either left or they are being more careful within those circles. And to me, this has been the biggest success story of the videos, and you don't get that kind of action from sending out a few subtweets. I am working on different kinds of content for this channel, but I will certainly continue to shine a light on the truth and people taking advantage of others. So back to the present, and there's quite a lot that has happened since I posted the last video. Of course, we have the usual suspects who are getting upset because I make a video telling the truth, and I ask myself, why are you so upset if what I am saying is trash? The only reason I can really come up with is that as their communities start to crumble, it will directly affect their numbers, and that's why they are so adamant that they need to protect these teams. On top of that, it seems like there's been a private DM going around in order to discuss what could be done about myself and the videos I've been making. So as you can see here, it starts off by saying, "We need that video soon, it seems. Take the time if you're going to make it today. Make the time," by Frigid I Am the Don. I wonder what video that could be and who it could be about. Biggie Sweats, obviously in this group, says yes. The leader of the Drip Squad, no less. Little Core Gaming says, "What did I miss in the background that's got him all torn up?" Miss Bozzy B writes, "What's happened?" And Clutch Blonde writes, "Joe Tendo, JTX went after Crow and a bunch of others in another YouTube video last night." Ms. Boz B put, "Holy shit!" So if anyone could send their video ASAP or by end of weekend, that would be great. Frigid I Am the Don, yeah, he went after a lot of people. Clutch Blonde put, he went after Crow, Biggie, King Shart, Camp, Rose, Fredo, SB, G5, and a couple of others. It's dumb AF. Miss Bozzy B writes, "How is he able to continue to do that legitly? You tell me about what I'm doing that's not legitimate. That might be the first step with that." Little Core puts, "He's trash. He watches the first 15 minutes of a stream and makes complete wrong assumption on what a group is all about. If he would actually meet these streamers that she's bashing," I think he means he would maybe learn a thing or two. Unfortunately, I've watched far more than 15 minutes of almost all of those streams, and I can tell you it doesn't change my opinion whatsoever. "No idea, Miss Bozzy B. It's against TOS, but somehow his speech is protected." Again, she doesn't say what's against TOS, but I tell you what is actually against Twitch's TOS, and that is manipulating your numbers and false engagement. The Magician put lawyer an option, just thinking out loud. Lord Fuzzy Nuts put, "Seems like slander if you ask me," and the Magician says, "That's what I'm saying." Slander, is it? Well, it's not slander, is it? Because slander would be false information and lies, and I'm telling the truth. Even Clutch Blonde understands that. No, because it's technically not considered defamation of character. It's more so protected under free speech. What he's saying about Crow and the rest so far hasn't gone far enough to be considered that, in my opinion. Considered what? I mean, yeah, of course it's not. You can't claim for defamation of character over facts. Buddy would have to make a serious allegation against Crow's character, and these videos he's producing about them haven't crossed that line yet. Well, yeah, obviously they haven't crossed that line because all I've given you is the truth. Now, he is breaking Twitch TOS though, so I don't know why he hasn't lost his Twitch partnership though. Again, I'm just wondering exactly what it is that I'm doing to break TOS. I don't know what I can't make sense of what the magician says there. Maybe. It's really sucky to see Crow going through this though, but it's never easy to deal with a bully. Yeah, poor Crow. Clutch Blonde put, I'm still waiting on everyone's videos. We have more people wanting to contribute, so it's going to take a bit. And now Shart isn't coming to con. This fucker is a jerk. Holy. Why is it my fault that he's not going to con? What's that got to do with me? I mean, by the end of this video, it'd probably be unlikely that he goes to con. What? And the Olympian hairman steps in. This dude is a joke. Is he going to TwitchCon EU? I'd love to meet up with him. I'm not going to TwitchCon EU, but you can find me at TwitchCon San Diego. Little Corey, I've got a few words if he shows up. This guy wouldn't say shit to anyone in person. Sorry. That's with most bullies, says the magician. Yeah, bully. They love that word. You pizza novel. Why is he going after these people when we have partners view botting, running fake hype trains, harassing women, etc.? Hey, if you've got information about that, you pizza novel, hit me up. I'll be happy to call him out. No way that JTX guy shows up at TwitchCon. He's a troll. Get his ass beat in the first 10 seconds. I really want to have a video of what Crow and Crow fam is all about and what Crow in this community means to us. Put up before that bully can do another video. Yeah, we need to streamline this. Put like Friday as the deadline. Let's get this out. Okay, let's do this. Friday, May 13th will be the deadline for the video. So if you can all send me your videos by Friday, May 13th, that would be great. And please let me know when you send it so I can make sure I received it. Just got caught up, forget this asshat. I'm going to focus on the real people I see here every day and put my energy into you guys. We know what's really going on, that's what matters. And people are still joining, no matter what this bottom feeder is saying. As soon as we have all the videos done, I can have them edited ASAP, so I'll be on deck waiting. Raptor88, let's show the people what Crow fam really is. 100%, I think this just hit Crow really hard today, rightfully so because this guy is such a bully. But we got this. Thank you for offering up your editing skills. You rock. Yeah, but some people take shots at others for getting what they can't. Jealousy looks bad, no matter how many followers someone has. I mean, do you think that that guy is truly indoctrinated enough to believe that I would be jealous of Crow Gaming? Agreed. Looks like a tabloid smear campaign to me, especially because he keeps trying to sneak into everyone's discords under the radar. If he had any legit complaints, he wouldn't need to do that. What does that mean? I've been in the discords previously and been kicked out. I've been and asked them questions and they blocked me. So I don't really know what she's talking about there. But also, I don't really need to sneak into the discords because the stuff gets sent to me anyway. He's grasping at straws and using clever wording to get the viewers to draw a negative conclusion. It's classic shit journalism. Yeah, I mean, it could be that, or it could just be articulating what I see properly and then allowing people to make their own minds up. I couldn't do it without everyone's support. We're a family, a community, and we persevere together in times of need. If they feel so severely disrupted by the things I say, wouldn't you maybe just even take just a few moments to look inverse and think, hang on, maybe things aren't quite right here? Now you'll notice that through that conversation, they didn't mention a single thing that I'd actually done wrong. It's far easier for them just to throw insults out there and not consider whether I am actually doing anything wrong or not. Or maybe actually what I say might have some truth to it. Crow has also come out with a tweet saying he doesn't do nor condone support for support, which is the very thing that he built Crow fam on. I find it very difficult to understand how he can say this. I'm not going to go through this again. We all know about him and his stream, but of course, he doesn't have to go tabbing people's streams up. He's at the top of the tree. But you have to turn up to his streams regularly to get shout outs, and the more you donate, the more you get shouted out. And that's the epitome of support for support. And just because it's not exactly the same kind of support you get in return, it doesn't mean that it's not still support for support. And if you leave or disagree with the Crow fam, you will be blocked. Anyone with a brain can see the rampant support for support in the channel, and yet he will come out with a false statement like that. Does he believe in saying it that will actually forget what he's doing? Now, I've also had a few interesting occurrences this week of a few leaders of stream teams coming into my channel whilst I'm streaming to chat. There weren't any cross words, there were even some generous donations for them, but I was clear how I felt about that. Now, I'm not really sure what their intentions were in coming into my stream, and of course, I'm going to be very skeptical of them with them running stream teams, but I will be clear on this. I cannot be bought. There is nothing that you can offer to me to stop me doing the right thing in calling out these factions for what they are. So I'm going to be frank about this next section of the video. I've been umming and ahhing over whether to share this all week, and I've come to the conclusion that it's necessary that people know about the things that have been happening with King Shart and the Shart army. I have been approached by so many members that were previously part of the community, and some that have never even been part of the community, to share with me some of the messages that King Shart has sent to them, and to share some of the behaviors that King Shart has put them through. Now, before I go into this, there was quite a big bombshell drop this morning, and that was that King Shart's right-hand woman, Sweet Shart, has left the team and streaming and will return one day, but subject to rebranding. Just keep this in mind for later on. She ran the team Discord and was King Shart's biggest champion when it came to organising raid trains, which I spoke about in the previous video, and making sure that people were going in King Shart's stream when live. To be honest, I didn't really want to mention her at all in this video, with her now leaving and moving on for the team. And I do think she's making the right decision, and I do wish her the best of luck for the future. However, it does not excuse previous behaviours, whether or not she's been the victim of manipulation. Now, this perhaps might have been a surprise to some people. As we know, some people in these teams can be incredibly loyal. However, after my last video on King Shart, I was contacted by so many people about the team. In fact, I was contacted more about the Shart army than any other team I've spoken about combined. Now, before I go into this, it's worth pointing out that all these things are about King Shart and the Shart army and not any other stream teams. However, we know that all these stream teams like to support each other, especially the leaders. So that's something to consider going forward, because the web between them all is that tangled that it's going to be difficult for them to shake off any kind of association. What you're about to see is several statements given by either members of the Shart army, previous members of the Shart army, or people who have engaged with King Shart. These statements are just the tip of the iceberg. I have more statements than this, but I've recommended for some people that they keep them private for now because they could be subject to legal action. They are that serious. For now, these statements will remain anonymous, as I know how delusional some of the team are, and I don't want any victims to be attacked as a result of this video. They have been brave enough to come forward and give these words out, and I'd like it if they were protected for now. So bear in mind, at this point, I'm giving you personal statements given to me by people, and this is not conclusive proof of this happening. However, given the fact that King Shart knows exactly what he's done, I don't think that he'd be stupid enough to question any of it. If he does, that's a road we will have to cross at the time, but for now, we're going to keep it this way. I'm saying this because I need to be very clear about what is proof and what is evidence, and this is very much evidence right now as it stands. But I will say that everything is well backed up. He has asked females for nudes, and I know for a fact he will blast it all over his streams. He's a nasty man. If anyone wants to be a part of that family, then they have a rude awakening for them. He only cares about himself and no one else, and he will try and pursue women, and if you send him nudes, he will come into your streams and gift you subs and bits. He's a married man, and has this app on his phone that appears like a calculator, but it's an app that hides all the nudes he saves. He has sent me nudes of a member of the Shart army and told me that the nudes were awful because she doesn't have any body part that sticks out, and said that she only looks nice because of the angles she uses. King Shart dropped many subs into my channel, but then kept informing me that people were calling him a simp for dropping subs. I asked for the name of who this was, as I did not want it to be someone from my community, and if it was, I'd ban them. However, I was never informed of who this person was. I joined King Shart's customs and stream one day and was sexualized in the stream chat. King Shart himself was asking me sexual questions, and even though I ignored the questions, the streamer still continued to ask the question over and over. I ended up blocking King Shart due to his aggression on one of his streams. So he got quite close with my community a few weeks ago, spoke lots to me and my fiance. We would play with him off stream and stuff. He would come into our streams and drop insane amounts of bits and subs, shout us out on his Discord 24/7, would talk in our Discord more than his own. We all thought he was a good friend. As you know, he would run Warzone customs all the time, and we would play them often, and I'm a lot better than him at COD, so it wasn't uncommon that I would shit on him in a game. It then became an inside joke, and he would put bounties on my head for the people that managed to kill me in the customs. He would often make references that he's going to only kill me and I better watch it and so on. Like lots of banter. So comes one day of customs and he's talking the same shit again, and I kill him and his team that are all camping in a building. Continuing the whole joke, I say dead bitch in his chat. We have called each other much worse before. He then gets super pissed off, saying how dare I call him a bitch in his own stream. He then tells me that I'm not allowed to play in his customs anymore because I was clearly stream sniping, and that's why I knew where he was. I apologised to him for calling a bitch if it upset him, but I also told him not to be a sore loser, that I don't need to stream snipe to be better. He then tells my fiance to control his chick and that I'm not welcome anymore and I get banned. As you can imagine, my fiance goes crazy at him, especially that they were really close. He in the end apologised to my fiance, but I still get nothing. I get a message from him the next day asking to talk. He proceeds to basically gaslight me into getting me to apologise to him. Refused to believe me that I apologised to him straight away on stream. We are not a huge community, but at that point, probably had around 100 people in the Discord. And we are like a family. If you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. He streamed a few days later, and his numbers being around 40 lower than normal. Our community was so happy to just drop him only because he was rude to you. That day he posted a massive message in his Discord that why when he has so many people in his Discord, only 70 people showed up, and that's less than the VIPs. That why can't people spare him a tab, and I quote, I have spent tens of thousands of dollars to help you guys achieve your dreams, and then ended it with, but I still love you all. He buys all his views, and I don't mean the buy views and followers website. He tries to buy loyalty in people by dropping 50 subs on them. And unfortunately, a lot of people can be bought that way. And I know you mentioned it before, but he's made a lot of my female friends feel very, very uncomfortable with sexual comments. King Shart came into my stream and seemed very friendly. He then proceeded to come by a couple more streams, gifting subs and giving bits. After coming in for a couple of streams, he came in and commented on my appearance and asked why I wasn't wearing a top that would be more revealing. I was in Shart Army, but he kicked me out for not joining his streams. Guys are welt. I was mid-stream during a raid train, and my husband was there supporting me like he always does and keeping time for me. He told me to raid out in 5 minutes, and everyone, mods, jumped his ass and were calling him a bitch and using homophobic insults towards him. I let it settle a couple of days before I brought it up to King in chat. He then attacked me as well as every other mod in there, telling me how shitty my stream is, how I never support, how I'm not using toxic correctly. I got in trouble one day for missing one stream because while I was at work he streamed and I missed it, and he lit my ass up in the general chat in front of everyone. He consistently preaches about support for support but never does his own raid trains. The man is a psycho. He's even following me in other channels on Discord trying to get me banned and acting like I'm the bad guy. Now, as I said before, this is just the tip of the iceberg and I'm receiving more of these daily. I am also fully aware of why Sweet Shart departed from the Shart army. I'm going to put it out there to King Shart to come clean and tell the truth about everything. I believe now that's the least he can do and that it is his responsibility to own up for everything that he's done. I will give him time to come clean, but to be honest, there are that many people now who know exactly what happened. And as the team starts to crumble, they are no longer bothered about being attacked by individuals of the team. So it wouldn't surprise me if it comes out a long time before that. I think the bottom line under all of this is to please be careful who you're interacting with online. And that goes for Twitch or anything else. But always take extra caution when people belong to a stream team. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching and thank you for your constant support. It means the world to me. I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.